All right, thank you so much, Alana. Well, Utah is expected to fall short of its goal of getting 70% of adults vaccinated with at least one dose of the COVID vaccine by the 4th of July. Now, according to the Utah Department of Health, 54.4% of eligible Utahns are fully vaccinated, while 61.1% of eligible Utahns have received at least one dose. That puts the state roughly 10% short of the governor's goal.
And with many Utahns unvaccinated and large celebrations expected this weekend, doctors and state leaders fear cases will continue to climb and more people will end up in the hospital. ABC4's Haley Hendricks live in Salt Lake City tonight with more on their concerns. Haley.
Well, Glenn, health officials tell me public behavior has changed since the last 4th of July as more people are now out and attending events maskless. Now, with lower vaccination rates than they had hoped for, there's concern for the health of the unvaccinated this holiday weekend. For those who celebrate Independence Day, the holiday often involves attending parades, barbecues, rodeos, or fireworks shows. But last year, many events canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Restrictions have eased and many events are making a comeback. But in some ways, this holiday is more of a concern for state and health officials.
For one thing, we do have the vaccine present and we have half of the population that's vaccinated. We have a population that's not nearly as scared as they were a year ago, a population that has really let their guard down, who's willing to go into large crowds without wearing a mask.
I wouldn't want to hang out with a whole bunch of unvaccinated people over the 4th. I would be very careful about that.
1.5 million Utahns have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. The Utah Department of Health reporting it makes up 61.1% of all eligible Utahns. If attending a large holiday celebration, Dr. Russell Vinnick with the University of Utah Health says statistically about half of Utahns are not vaccinated.
Now, the CDC guidelines say that vaccinated people don't necessarily need to wear masks. When you look at that crowd and ask yourself, are half of the people wearing masks? The answer is generally no.
Dr. Vinnick and Governor Spencer Cox say this weekend's events are likely to cause an uptick in already growing COVID-19 cases.
We completely expect to see a significant increase, particularly knowing that cases are up, knowing that there's a large population that's not vaccinated, and knowing that this new Delta variant here is the predominant variant in Utah.
Look, if you're unvaccinated, you should be worried this 4th of July. You should be very worried this 4th of July.
With the possibility of more COVID-19 patients in the coming weeks, Dr. Vinnick says it's a concern as hospitals statewide always see more injury patients this time of year. Now with the holiday weekend here, officials remind each of us to do our part to stay safe and healthy. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Haley Hendricks, ABC4 News.
Thank you so much, Haley.